Good afternoon and welcome back to Realcomm Live. I've got Jim Whalen and Cecilia Li with me, two of our executive committee with the Real Estate Cyber Consortium, better known as RECC. Good afternoon, how are you guys feeling?
Hello.
How are you enjoying the conference so far?
It's been wonderful. So many people, so many familiar faces, lots of knowledge sharing, lots of innovations happening. I've really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, you can't replace the in-person reconnectedness that you do
Right.
when you're here.
Absolutely. So let's tell the audience a little bit about RECC, right? We were established in 2017. Jim, you were in that room at the time, right? And we've got, over 50 member organizations right now, about 150 personal members. And I think we manage over $300 billion worth of revenue with our member companies, right? And one of the other things that I really like about RECC is the content that we're putting out, the best practice groups that we have. We have the Reckoning podcast, right? Cecilia, talk a little bit about the Reckoning podcast.
Sure. So the Reckoning podcast started as part of our training committee. We really wanted to encourage people and promote awareness because cybersecurity is a real thing. And to do that, we have to do it as a community together. We need to learn together. And so a lot of the content that we'll push out is not just for the technical people, it's for our asset managers, for our executive team. It's really for anybody that's in the build industry.
Absolutely. And your company, Boston Properties, you guys have been involved for quite some time, right?
Yeah.
How's the experience been as far as being involved in RECC?
Sure, Greg. Yeah, so we're BXP now.
BXP, right? Yeah, that's right. Rebranded. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, all good. But we started this journey. It was 10 years ago, right? So San Jose, there was a group of people that stayed after Realcomm and said we need to do something as a collective.
Right.
To start this journey, and it was really that was the nugget that started this journey.
Yes.
And I think that the thing for us is that we shouldn't each be reinventing the wheel.
Absolutely.
Like this is a communal, threat challenge that we have to face. It's not competitive.
No.
It's not a competitive advantage in any way.
Right.
And what happens to you affects me.
Exactly.
So that's one. So I think for us, it's about continuing to kind of get reference points. The membership, as you know, Cecilia, is like it's all over the curve in terms of their maturity models. And I think one of the things I appreciate, people have come on board on various parts of that maturity and moved up the curve because of the value of the community and the power of the community.
I mean, I remember when this was first founded and looking at everybody on stage, the founding members, I realized that we needed to do something as an organization. And
yeah,
so
your journey is a case study.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, we realized that we couldn't do we could do this alone for sure, but we're faster and better together. And so all that knowledge sharing allowed us to be on that journey that much faster and mature that much faster.
Right, and Jim, you like to talk about critical mass, right? And that's one of the things that I've been talking to potential members about is that we're trying to create this critical mass within RECC to try to impact the industry, right? Not only our members, but also the industry. We've got a couple initiatives going on, one of which is the OPR, right? The Owner's Project Requirements Document that we're trying to pass down to the construction industry and promote that collaboration between IT and facilities. And we talked about it yesterday in the Cyber Forum. What did you guys get out of that?
I can't wait for it. I mean, I know we have our specs, but I need to improve them even further. So you think about this, the improvements we need to make in the development construction cycle. As you live in this,
absolutely.
It's like, so how do we do that, Greg, and how do we do that together? So I'm looking forward to having that as a reference point that I can improve what we're already doing.
Right, and you always talk about collaboration, and Cecilia, you do also. And one of the things that we're doing with that OPR is after it's complete, we have our RECC members, a group of our RECC members that have been basically hand selected, right? Who are going to get their eyes on it before it goes out to our membership, right? And that's one of the things that we're trying to promote to potential members is we're not going to put out content that's not relevant to the entire spectrum, right? Everyone's on a different journey, right? So
And we cover IT to OT and everyone in between.
Absolutely.
Right?
And to your point on things that are relevant, one of the topics that are so very relevant today is the vendor risk management as an example. So those are topics that we discuss during our monthly meetings, our annual meeting. And so that's the key, right? Talking about things that are happening today that is impacting all of us.
Right. Speaking of which, AI. So what did you guys get out of the whole AI symposium, I like to call it, all right, which was yesterday?
Things are moving very fast, and so we have to catch up. Or actually, we need to ensure that our systems are locked down because AI is not stopping.
Yeah, so it's managing. To me, it's about, again, we're early innings. It's about managing the boundaries or the blurred boundaries, and how do you do that securely? How do you do that thoughtfully, Greg, in the journey? And it's going to affect. AI is going to be applied to our facilities.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Not just our enterprises. And so how do we manage that as a community going forward in a secure way? So I'm excited about the new chapter. It's a new chapter that we have as technologists.
Yeah, it's definitely a very exciting moment. There's so much. I feel like AI kind of sparked innovation this year more so than in the last couple of years. And so with that, cybersecurity is going to play a big part as well.
Right, because now we've got one of our members who is really, really into data governance, right? And that's one of the pieces that you have to connect and merge with AI, right? Because it's garbage in, garbage out, right?
It's foundational.
Exactly. It's definitely foundational. And these are the messages that we're trying to get out to our membership when you talk about some of the standards that we're trying to push, right?
And I look at just every year, Greg, and the cyber forum we had yesterday, the content just gets elevated and elevated every year. And we just had a packed agenda that provided context, like Bill Crum being our keynote, former NSA, and just the gravitas that he had bringing with what he's done in his career, to case studies that are like continuous pen testing and OT tabletops that from our practitioners on our leadership board. So the whole, you walk out of the room with context, a sense of urgency. At the end, I was kind of saying that I get antsy because I'm hearing this messaging. What are we doing? What aren't we doing? What do we need to do more?
Absolutely.
Right?
And that's all about the collective, right? People joining who don't have to create the wheel, right? And people who understand that at the end of the day, there's an entire community that can help me along with my journey. And I know you were about to add a little color to what Jim said.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, so many people walked up to me today and said, you know what, I walked out with so many nuggets that I'm going to go home and I'm going to do it, right?
And I did too. Everyone's on the journey, and you're getting takeaways that you bring back.
And the sharing of information. Hey, I heard that this is, that you guys are working on this. What can you tell me? And so is that peer coaching?
Yes, yeah. And I love, when Bill Crum was on stage, Greg, so he mentioned our communities like ours being force multipliers.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Being force multipliers, and that is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right?
No, it's huge. And we have our RECC booth over there, right? Booth 710. And I've had a ton of traffic over there. And people are migrating to the RECC because they feel as though, hey, this is somewhere for me to gain knowledge. This is almost like a training ground for me. Like you said, everyone's on a different journey. Everyone's at a different place in their journey. And I think what we're becoming is that organization that you dare not be a part of because there's so much knowledge there.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Cecilia, but like when I tell our board that we help co-found, we are a member of this community.
Absolutely.
And we're gaining reference points. It's an attestation of like our commitment to the community, right? So
Absolutely.
And gaining that knowledge.
Yeah,
Greg,
and although it's about our members, it's still about the industry as a whole, right? That ecosystem as a whole, right?
Yeah, and don't forget, cybersecurity, it doesn't discriminate, right? No matter what type of asset class you have, this is something that you ought to look at. Mm-hmm. In your organization.
Absolutely. I had an interesting conversation with one of our members, and I said, hey, at the end of the day, there's organizations on the OT side that should be elevating cyber as a life safety system.
Yeah,
Right?
well, we
Yeah.
talked about the impact on physical.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
No.
if you want more information about RECC, please come and visit booth 710. We've got myself, some of our other members there. If you see one of our members wearing this pin here, stop them, chat with them, find out what their experience has been with RECC. Any closing thoughts?
No, I just join the community.
There you go.
Yes. Join the community. Find us on LinkedIn. We have a podcast. It's on Spotify.
Absolutely.
And like you said, if you find us, ask questions. We're here to chat.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. And
Thank
with that,
you.
that's a wrap.